people, this is your Redneck from Cali Nate, and today we're going to do an episode of Nate Does Horror. This is a new series on my channel, do over horror movies, or suspense or thriller movies. So I will try to do my best on these for you guys. So this was a challenge from Christian Hanna Horror. During a live stream, he asked somebody review this movie, and I said I will review it. Oh boy, was I in for it now, though. So this, of course, is the Redemption Kino Lorber Blu-ray version. 1080p, does not have a 4K or even a 2K restoration. And it came from an archival copy, so this one might should have stayed in the archives. This came out in 1980. It was directed by John Rowland and Jess Franco. So it was, I was expecting a Jess Franco kind of movie. So I got one for sure on this one. But this also has an English dub, and it's predominantly, the first one of course was French with English subtitles. The subtitles are horrible. Don't even try them. Just watch the English dub. And try to have the best you can with this film because you're in for a ride with this one. Okay, so there are some alternate scenes, and that's what they used actually to promote the video to the producers of, was it Telesin? Or not, Eurocin. I always want to say Telesin. To promote it and actually get it out there in the theater. What Eurocin didn't know is that they had one pulled over though, because when they showed this one, they actually showed the movie, it was explicit. It wasn't the same scene. They pulled those scenes out. And they just went to the explicit versions. And so when I start out with this, this is definitely an 18 or over type of movie, just to give you a heads up. So there were an alternate English title sequence they did, of course, when they had the movie here. And then, of course, the last thing in there, of course, is some more trailers from John Rowland and Redemption Films. Yeah, and that's about it. You know, there wasn't a whole lot more on it. So it's got a cool cover, you know. And there's no reversible sleeve or nothing like that. But that was about it for the actual Blu-ray. So let's get to the story. So the story of Zombie Lake goes like this. Got a girl, she wants to go, of course, swimming in the lake. There's a sign up there that says, hey, stay away from the lake. She grabs the sign, takes it up, and throws it into the grass next to her. And then she goes swimming. And then, of course, what happens? The zombie starts coming through the water to get her. And literally, you can see his outfit is a Nazi outfit. And then, of course, swim, grab. She gets pulled into the lake. So that afternoon, the town people go to the mayor and they say, hey, the girl's missing. We need to, get some help, get some police to help her. And then the mayor's like, oh no, in a couple of days, if we don't find her in a couple of days, then we'll get the police. And some people are like, huh? And some other people are like, okay, whatever. And it's like, what is wrong with you people? It's like, you would think somebody would have just said, okay, let's go get the cops. Let's go find this person. No. They just blow it off. Like, she's not dead. But literally a couple minutes later, another girl, she's going past the lake and she's, in this area to wash some clothes. The same zombie walks out of the lake, grabs her and gets her. And then he walks right back into the lake. So it's like, what's going on here? And then, to complicate all this, this reporter walked into the town. And she's trying to find out, because she had heard stories about the lake, like people going in it and dying and whatnot, and not finding them. So she goes talking to the people, and they're like, hey, you need to talk to the mayor. So she goes, tries to talk to the mayor. The mayor's like, I ain't got time for you. I don't want it, because he's got a big story to explain of what happens. And she finally gets him to sit down and he tells the story. Now we're talking, this is a long story from this guy. So what he tells of the story is that the Nazis come into their town and try to, of course, take over the town and whatnot, but then they get aerated, and then one of the Nazis protects this girl from getting killed. And that night, of course, the Nazi goes with the girl, and then, you know, they get together. We'll say that. They get together. And she tells him to come back, you know, make sure you come back. And so he leaves, of course, the next day. And then at this time in the movie, they're going back and forth between real time and the past. And at this point, this is where we have another group of women who were going to the lake to go swimming. Even though everybody's told them to stay out of the lake, but they still do anyways. And what happens? The whole zombie crew gets them and then pulls them under, and it's over. And then we flash back to what was going on, and then we find out that, okay, the Nazis come back into the town later when they find out that she was pregnant, she was going to have the baby, and the guy, the leader, says, "You get 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Go see." And so the guy, the main Nazi at that time, he goes in, sees the woman he was with, see that they had the baby already, but she was really sick, like she probably was going to die after having the childbirth. And then he says goodbye, runs away. So the mayor, and a bunch of people say, "We want these Nazis gone." They murder the Nazis and throw them into the lake. Okay? That's exactly what happens. Okay. And then, while all this backlog is going on, the little girl is at her house. And then the Nazis have left the lake, and they're attacking people, and what they're going through places. And then the father actually finds his daughter. The zombie father finds her daughter, and the daughter's like, "Oh, my father's a zombie. I'll go with you." And she literally gets out of her bed and walks with him, and they go out, and she's just sitting there waiting with him. And then it's like 2 + 2 finally gets put together, and then she's like, "Oh crap, I need to get away from this." And then she goes running. She runs home. And then after this, of course, the story ends. You know, at the same time, we've got like 3 parallel stories, which is way too much. The mayor gets done talking to a reporter, and then the mayor goes to where the girl is, and then he tells the girl, they're like, "Did you see them?" "Yes." And she tells him, "Yes, I see them." And he's like, "You know one of them?" "Yes." And she's like, and she realizes that was his father. So he's like, "We got to kill them all. You must help us." And then she finally works it into where she will help them, and they set up a sort of like a trap situation. She says, "I need a lot of blood. Give me a lot of blood." And so the mayor gets all the blood and stuff, and then they have these like napalm, like literally napalm kind of guns set up. So he coerces all of the zombies to go to this area, and then she gets them to come in and start drinking the blood out of this big vat that she has. So she's getting them to drink it, and then they're all in her little area, and then they really just light them on fire, napalm them all, and they all burn up, and that was it. That was the end. And then all you see at the end is like her playing with this little pendant. At the end, I'm like, what the hell just happened? Now, this, okay, yeah, whew. I will tell you, do not watch this movie. That is Nate's opinion. Do not watch this movie. Do not waste your time on this. If you have to watch it, go on YouTube and watch it. They actually showed the whole movie on YouTube if you want to watch this bad thing. And this is not one of those, it's so bad it's good. No, this is so bad it makes you want to pull your hair out. Like, there were points where I wanted to go to sleep because it was so bad in this movie. So, do not watch this movie. There's a lot more better things out there than Zombie Lake. Don't go watch Zombie Lake. Alright, people. This has been Nate Does Review. Today, like I said, today's episode was Zombie Lake. And Nate says, don't watch this one. Alright, alright, alright.